we're going to talk about, as the title suggests, some of the misery of Arsenal Football Club and some of the pain that the Arsenal fans are feeling. None of us are Arsenal fans, but that doesn't matter. We can talk from an objective point of view. So we just kick off with Arsenal's recent performance, especially so far this season. 11 games have passed, and they have won 2 games, I believe.
They won 4 games.
11
games played. They won 4. Drew 1, lost 6, in which they've only scored 10 goals in those 11 games, and conceded 14 goals.
And conceded 14. 10 goals scored and conceded 14. I think for a club of the magnitude of Arsenal, I think that's just shocking. Absolute shocking. And considering that they won, considering the quality of players that they have and the youngsters that have come up and looked so super promising, for them to be having this kind of record, I think that's shocking. Why do you think that is? Why this? You have to bear in mind, it's not all the manager, as much as the media would like to say. But should we talk about Arteta first, or just generally?
No, just general, like players' performance today. They created chances, but they were not convincing. The players need to be on the same wavelength. Right. Some of the passes were made out to Aubameyang, some of the passes were made out to Lacazette, and some of them to Willian, but they were either ahead or quite far behind. The link-up play that needs to be there for a team wasn't there. In case of Son and Kane, they knew exactly where the other player was going or how they were going to line up, and they just tore Arsenal apart. They couldn't do anything. Honestly speaking, Arsenal didn't play terrible, but they didn't play good. It just felt like they didn't turn up to the game.
No, I disagree. I think Arsenal were terrible. They have been terrible. Last game against Villa as well. And you can tell, on Twitter, pretty much all the Arsenal fans has been highlighting how bad for performance individually and as a team as well. And, Arteta needs to take a blame here as well. He's been terrible with his subs, with his selection as well. Why is he playing 3 at the back and then changing it 4 at the back? It just doesn't make sense. If you want to play defensive football, just say so. But the fact that, it's a mixture of everything, to be honest. The board, the players, the managers, and it's all falling apart now. It's all falling apart for Arsenal. They should have made a strong signings, and some of the signings that they have done over the summer as well just doesn't make sense. Why are you signing 34-year-old midfielder? It's just a mixture of everything, and it's just going to fall apart.
I think
things don't really look good for them.
Last week when they lost against Wolves 2-1, after their main forward Jimenez was injured, he got taken off on the stretcher, and then after they lost, I checked on Twitter, and all the fans were talking about how much they are sorry for Wenger, basically, and how much they miss him. The reason is that what they were seeing on the pitch right now is like complete dead, basically. This is absolute shit, basically, and that's not the kind of football that they want to see. And now, I agree, it is a mixture of things, but I think the two main things that comes is the manager and the football, the players, the manager and the footballers. Now just look at today against Spurs. They should have done their homework, first of all, but second of all, they should have been a little bit more motivated and more intense. Now, they had twice as much possession as Spurs during the full 90. They had more attempts off target, most of them. But I think my main concern, I think I said it repeatedly in our watch along, is that they approached Spurs' box so many times, but it was so sloppy. Whenever they tried to cross the ball in, whenever they tried to get a shot, it either went across, it went over, it was off target, it was sloppy, it was soft touches here and there, and you can't be having that. You can't be doing that, especially in the Europa on Thursday. They played so good against Vienna. You come back to the Premier League and you have to reproduce that, and that's what the Arsenal fans want to see. If you're not going to be doing that, then be ready for the criticism. So I think that criticism from the fans on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere is well deserved, and they have to take that.
And it's not like Tottenham didn't play on Thursday. Tottenham played on Thursday as well. So did Arsenal as well. Look at the performance. Look at the difference of both teams. One team is gel. One team is fully behind the manager, motivated, determined. On the other hand, the other side, Arsenal, nothing. You have Willian, who is a Premier League winner. He won the Europa League, the FA Cup with Chelsea. Aubameyang, winner of in Germany. These are experienced players. They have to step up. Aubameyang, since he signed the contract, nothing. He hasn't delivered. So the players needs to take a bit of responsibility here, as well as the manager as well, because I think tactically he got done by Mourinho, and you know what Mourinho is going to do.
Do you think? Speaking of manager, do you think Arteta? It's time for Arteta to go. I like Arteta. I know what he's done for City as well as an assistant manager to Pep, but I think he's too young, and the setup at Arsenal might not be right for him. Do you guys agree? Or
when it comes to the too young bit, that basically is synonymous with too inexperienced, because then you can make the similar claim. I guess for Lampard, you can say he was managing Derby before, whereas Arteta was in assistant coach position. But as for I don't agree with that. I never have done. 11 games later, if you're doing really poorly, everyone is supposed to sit down and communicate together exactly what they want to do and agree on small steps that they need to get over. But I'm not down with this sack this manager or sack that manager straight away kind of thing. I think he should be allowed more room and a little bit more time to develop. But I think tactically he's making a lot of errors. And we're just common fans. We're not like super knowledgeable about football, and we can't see the things that they can see. So I'm sure there are other things that are happening, behind the scenes that we don't know about. But I think the sooner they sort this stuff out, same as United, the sooner that they sort this stuff out, the better it will be. But as for the sacking him, I don't agree with that at all. I don't know what you guys think.
Sorry, go ahead, Ankit.
No, okay, you go for it.
No, for me, I think he should go because, see, right now, they need someone with experience. Considering Arsenal, theoretically speaking, from a non-biased perspective, I don't see Arsenal qualifying for top 4. And currently, based on their performance after 11 games, that's almost 30% of the season done. They are sitting 15th. So I don't see them qualifying for Europa League as well next season if they don't win Europa League. Yeah. So if they don't do that, their revenues are going to go down. A lot of other things come in. And as a fan, as an Arsenal fan, if this was happening to United, I would have said Ole out long time ago, me being a United fan. But with Arsenal, I say similar thing. I know people want to see improvement and they see some sort of improvement, but in terms of the result, in terms of the outcome that needs to be there, in terms of the fighting spirit, they were 2-0 down. Did you see a fighting spirit in them? Like, oh yeah, let's go this, let's see that. And that fighting spirit that needs to be there doesn't exist. That somewhat needs to come from manager. Some of that needs to come from players on the pitch and off the pitch. So they don't have that spark that is required.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's gone. But for me, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would want Arteta out. That's as simple as that. Because I want to see some fresh faces. They have quite a few good youngsters. Like last season, we were talking about Nelson, Niketa, we were talking about Joe Willock. They have so many good youngsters.
And even this season, since the start in the first 5-6 matches before the international break, this second one, people like Joe Willock, Pepe, and Nketiah, Maitland-Niles every now and then, whenever he got game time, they weren't doing super well, but they were adapting and getting into the game. They were helping to create chances. And when all of those 4 youngsters were playing, every now and then they were on fire, basically. So my simple question, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, simple question is, why aren't you playing that combo more often? Basically, if it worked, and if you were getting more and more attempts, and that intensity was there, they were really pressing. Can't remember which games it was, but when I watched it, they were doing it. So why are they not playing that even more?
So
And
just
they're not injured.
some facts. Sorry, yeah. So just to give you guys some facts, Lacazette's played 8 games and scored 3 goals, right?
Wow.
Gabriel has played 9 games, who is their defender and has scored 2 goals. Aubameyang has played 10 games and he scored 2 goals.
Oh,
Saka
wow.
has played 8 games, who is their wing back and has scored a goal. Nicolas Pepe has played 8 games, scored 1. And Niketa, 8 games and 1 goal. That is all the players that have, Niketa. These are the players.
And do you want to say Kurt Zuma?
Kurt Zuma.
He scored 4 goals.
Scored 4 goals, mate.
If this was
United,
if this was Chelsea, if this was City, Liverpool, Arteta would be sacked by now. That's what I'm saying.
We're done tomorrow.
This is not acceptable. If this was Chelsea right now, 14th or wherever they are right now, he would be sacked, regardless of what you are, Frank Lampard or not. You'd be sacked. That's what I'm on Arteta's job. That's all I'm saying.
Let's go. Yeah, let's.
Who do you think are the options now?
Yeah, let's go off on a bit of a hypothetical tangent and just speculate. If let's say tomorrow, Arsenal says Arteta sacked, who would come in?
The most popular name that is floating around, especially for Barca, United, Real, PSG.
Pochettino's a no. Look, personal opinion.
Sorry?
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Look, personal opinion, I don't think Pochettino wants to go to Arsenal. Okay, now unless they give him a ridiculous salary, which Arsenal can probably afford, I don't know, but I don't think Poch wants to go to Arsenal.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on if they want to carry on, because they're playing that defensive football under Arteta. If they want to carry on with the defensive manager, go with Simeone, go with Allegri. Poch wouldn't be the right man. If you have signed players like Partey, based on, of course, he's a defensive-minded player and he has worked under Simeone and done really well. If you're going to go with the defensive approach, then go with the Simeones or even Allegri as well. But if you want to go back to the attacking side of football, or the attacking, playing beautiful football, then go with Pochettino. I mean, if you throw the money, Poch will come. I don't think he has that where he's always Arsenal, I'm not going back. Yeah. Tottenham disrespected Pochettino, and I think a project at Arsenal would be perfect for him. It depends on, of course, what Arsenal wants to do. I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't know if they want to revert back to the Arsenal way of playing football, or they want to carry on with defensive football. So I would say Allegri or Simeone for Arsenal. I don't see that happening.
One of the other reasons I'm saying Poch no to go to Arsenal, it's all up in the air, all of these rumors, and they have some truth in them, even though they are rumors. So I mean, like, Barca manager's job is a question mark right now. Madrid manager's job is a question mark. United manager's job is a question mark. And when you have these huge giant clubs, Arsenal's still a giant, but come on, we're talking about the super giants here. When you talk about these clubs and there's a question mark there, and they're all linked with this one manager, I'm pretty sure he's thinking about them, So I think it's just about who gets there first and with how much cash.
Yep. So now, just some of the options. But, obviously, is
apart from Poch, who else?
Yeah, that's Allegri. Is one of them. Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe.
Did he get Bournemouth relegated?
Yeah, but you can't look at it that way, because he's kept Bournemouth afloat. He's kept Bournemouth afloat in the Premier League for so many years.
But after Arteta, after that disaster, they're not going to accept Eddie Howe. No way, especially a relegated manager. Arsenal fan will not accept that. They want a big manager now.
That's it. Yeah, they want.
What about what these two names make Arsenal fans super happy. Those are Patrick Vieira.
No, I don't think a lot of
Is he
Arsenal fans.
manager material? Can he do what he needs to be done here? I don't know, man.
And
In
the
terms of,
second one,
he's a club legend coming back to lift
Vieira.
the club. He can lift the morale and everything, but can he do it basically?
He's managing right now.
Who?
Vieira. Yeah.
No, what I mean is there's a lot of
Understand this.
there's a lot of
Arteta
crap that needs to be-
is like a player manager. You know, he played for Arsenal. Arsenal fans after Arteta, they don't want any of those managers. They want an experienced manager, a manager that has won. Based on, of course, some of the Arsenal fans and what they've been saying. It seems like after Arteta, they want an experienced manager, a manager that has won.
Someone who's won, someone who's like almost guaranteed to win something at
so
Arsenal.
Maybe then they'll go back, have Vieira afterwards and Henry afterwards.
Vieira just got sacked from Nice as of 2 days ago.
You think Arsenal fans will accept that?
Not really, but they need someone to boost their morals. Because if they want to go for a big name, Brendan Rodgers is an option. What do you think of Brendan Rodgers?
Brendan Rodgers is not bad. But what about Sarri? Sarri?
That's it. Yeah, you were saying sorry. I was trying to think. Sorry, why not? Why not?
Henry.
He can repeat what he did at Napoli here. So
he's not really a defensive manager, he's an attacking manager, but
no, but like I think Arsenal have it. Like, look, I just look at the youngsters and they give me hope. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but they give you hope of watching entertaining football. They can do it. You've seen glimpses of it.
I don't think Arsenal is a bad team. I don't think they have bad players. They've got good players. They've got good youngsters, Reece Nelson, Saka. They've got a good bunch of players. Even that Kian Tini, what's his name? And I think, certain managers will get the best out of the likes of Bellerin, El Neni, Xhaka, those players. Even Lacazette, I think someone can get the best out of him as well. If you, of course, work with him. So a manager that knows how to sort of, play a system where everyone can work. Allegri, I'm saying Allegri. I think I'll stick with Allegri.
How about this one, Unai Emery coming back? Because with his La Liga side, Villarreal, right? They're qualifying for Champions League in La Liga right now. They are doing amazing under Unai Emery. And some of the Arsenal fans have indicated that, oh yeah, we would love Unai Emery back.
Would he want to come back though?
That's the question, right?
Where did you hear that? I haven't heard that.
No, it's on sites. Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll just see what happens. But I think Allegri is one of the most realistic shouts.
But yeah, I don't see a way back for Arsenal either this way. But
is no way back for Arsenal? I don't know, man.
It's difficult, especially looking at the performance for the past 5 games. They lost against Villa, drew against Leeds, lost to Sheffield United, I think, lost to the biggest rivals, Spurs. I mean, there is a way back, but it's just depending on, I think, the players more than anyone else. They don't look that motivated.
Right now.
Yeah, that's it. I think the majority of it is a mental game here, okay? So it's really difficult to go through a bad patch of games, bad run, and then shake it off psychologically and come back. Because after 11 games, you're sitting, 15, 14 in the table, just, floating above the relegation zone. They know, they have faith that they're not going to get into the relegation. That's not the point. But after 11 games, if you're sitting that far below in the table, and in the media, there's been speculation about all of these negative things. There's been questions being asked of the manager, of the club, of the players. All of these things combine and they hang on the heads, on the minds of everyone who's associated with Arsenal club, yeah? And it's really difficult to shake it off. Like, come on, we're United fans. We know what it feels like. But it's really difficult to shake it off.
And they can't because they have 2 games a week. Since almost the start of the season, all of the top 6 teams who are in Champions League and Europa League have played 2 games a week. And this is going to continue at least until the end of January, right? So there is no time for them to shake it off because they just have to live in the moment.
Yeah, I agree. And we're in December now.
Unless they get a fresh start in terms of a new manager, I don't see Arsenal doing anything different than what they are doing right now.
The
This
dreams
sounds
of finishing top four, top four is over for
Yeah.
them. I think the only way to sort of rescue this season is getting back in top six. I don't think top four is out of the
Top
question
six.
now.
Top six is not possible either, because currently 5 teams are fighting for Champions League spots, right? With Wolves, Leicester not that far behind.
I think the only way back for Arsenal is if they do business in January for their season to be saved. From now to the end of December 31st, they just have to ride it out, like, because they got Chelsea
really tough. I think is what I think. Okay, but that negative, what they're going through right now, the place where they're at, they're going to have a really difficult December, which is going to push them even further towards that possibility of going to the transfer window, offloading possibly, Aubameyang. But is he going to, though? That he just signed a new contract, so they're going to have to bring someone in, and that's going to create these uneasy dynamics, because you got Lacazette and Aubameyang here, their main strikers, and then you bring someone else in. But then if they don't bring them in, and what if they get more and more of the same from these two to the end of the season? So they're in a really tricky situation. So, tough, really tough for them.
Yeah.
It's really.
I think, in summary, for me, I think he needs to get sacked. But what do you guys think? Yeah, let's just wrap this video up.
In terms of sacking, I don't agree with Arteta being sacked. I think, like Ankit said, just ride it out December and go into the transfer window, January, buy in some quality players, really, really introspect, analyze where they need to perform where are the cracks, and just address those issues, because it's not like they don't have good players. They've got good players and they've got motivation. They've got hunger from the young players, Fair enough, the older ones are a bit like lackluster, but the younger ones are hungry, man.
Yeah, and as part of the other situation as well, Saliba, Ozil, what's going on with that? Sort it out. There's a lot of things that are happening behind the scene. They need to sort that stuff out. They're trying to sort of avoid from it and not talk about it, but it's just going to come bite them in the ass. But
that's it. Yeah.
For me, I think you raised a good point. January transfer window. I think they need to get a new manager now. Get them time to identify which players are good, which players are not, and get into a January transfer market, refresh the squad, keep the players you want, and then build from the scratch, because this season's gone. They need to start preparing for the next season now. Because
okay.
We're in December, man. It's not that it's hard, it's difficult. Okay, it's the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
But we're 11 games in, and we've got many more to go. We've got 38 in total, so they can turn it around. They just have to be really smart and determined. But it'll be difficult. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And
that's Arsenal Football Club.